look at your CV, Yogi, I mean, managerial CV, it stacks up against anybody out there. So is there a perception that, that you kind of cultivated as a player, this perception of big daft laddie, great for a laugh and stuff like that? Has that kind of overlapped into your managerial thing, and people don't maybe realise that you're a real deep thinker about football, and the way that you had your team playing football was the complete opposite of the way that you played football, if you know what I mean, where it was 100%, giving it absolutely everything, and big strong physical guy. Is there a kind of wrong perception about you in football, do you think?
Well, it's a perception. People's perception of what they think of you, that's up to them. In terms of, I'll put my hand up and say I've never been the most educated in terms of school. All my education is for football. All I wanted to do was play football, educate myself on football, coach it. And I think that when you see how my teams play, it's total football. And that's no matter if you're talking about cup finals, winning the Scottish Cup, and all that stuff. The two things that stick out to me is, and where I take great pride from, is my teams play football properly. 90% of the players that I've worked with, they still keep in touch, and most of them will tell you it's the best education, best time at their careers. And that gives you great fulfilment. In terms of people's perception, I think that when I go into the club or anything that I do, I don't go in half-hearted. It's full out. Everything. I want the best for everything. I want the best for the groundsman. I want the best training pitches. I want the best equipment. And if we've not got it, then I'm asking questions. And what we can do to keep moving things forward and all that stuff. And I think people are scared of that. I think people are scared of that. Come on, hey, let's get moving. That's a wee thing at wee Ross Wilson. First thing he done when he went into Rangers, he just went right into the environment and just revamped the whole place. That come for us at Falkirk. We were in at Falkirk, and what we couldn't do, we found a way to do it in terms of, right, we never had the funding, we never had money. Right, okay, we'll have a champagne breakfast, all the players 10 tickets each, bring all your mates, all your family, we'll get a speaker in the morning, raise the funds, and we went out and bought all the new kind of equipment and markers, and then we looked after it. Really worked hard on, training facilities, getting the best. I wanted the best at anything that was out there, and that's what I was doing. I was banging on the door saying, and I think a lot of people are scared of that. I think they're set in their ways. There's a lot of self-preservation in it, football, and they don't want that guy to come in and say, and all you want to do is move the club forward. But they're set in their ways and they want to move the club forward. And I totally understand that. I'm not against anybody for that. And I think that might put people off. But as I say, David, the bottom line is, it answers itself. My team's the way my teams play football. We played Rangers in a Scottish Cup final. They beat us 1-0. I could take that on the chin because we passed them off the park that day. We were a real good football side and Rangers knew it.
Yeah. Yogi, we've been talking a lot in this podcast lately about today's environment, right? And the sort of a modern way, the attempt to reinvent the wheel that seems to be going on. The academia, guys that seem to have come straight from a classroom into a dressing room, but without actually doing any of the playing bit or the 30 years experience beforehand. Do you feel you're penalised for that a little bit? Because there is this modern culture now, where that's fine if you've gone to university or even studied it on Xbox, played Football Manager for 10 years, then you're a computer expert. I'll put him in there. Are we missing a trick a wee bit here? Are we in danger of going too far away from, the nuts and bolts of football?
Well, I think that even myself, even at my age, you have to get up to speed with it in terms of there's no point if there's tools out there that you feel it can enhance you as a coach or your team, then you take it on board and you use it. That's being innovative. I'm not against that. In terms of your other part of the question, what I will say is I coached, tutored the B licence and A licence and coached all these guys coming through for a number of years. I think I've done it for about 10 years. And it it was amazing to see. My job was to help them on the coaching pitch. It was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. Never come across anyone that didn't want to learn. Not got a bad word to say. The SFA coaching badges are fundamental for you being a coach, and the Scottish SFA badges are right up there. But for many guys come on that, and they were struggling to coach. Now, it's my job to help them through the week and prepare them and all that stuff. So you're right on it. But when it comes to PowerPoint's presentation, these guys were up there doing that, and it was like fireworks coming out, and it was like unbelievable. And they were so articulate in the way, in their speech and the way they come across. And I can remember Jim Fluton nudging me and says to me, "You've just coaching, you're coaching them. You're seeing how hard they're struggling on the football pitch, and yet when they're up there doing that presentation, they're unbelievable." And I really honestly believe that football's starting to go that way, unfortunately. But it's starting to, what you say, Keith, everybody's recognising it, and it's starting to come back for that guy that wants to put the boiler suit on, get his hands dirty, and be on his training pitch. I'm a training pitch coach. I want to be on his training pitch from morning to afternoon. I want to be studying football, watching football. Most of my education, obviously for a young boy coming right through football, but we always used to take teams over to Holland pre-season. And even if you're playing against a local village team and you're beating them 5-6-0, you're still trying to play total football for the goalkeeper. And then when you step up as the week goes on and you're playing against better opposition, it's you are getting beat 4 or 5-0. I had no ego whatsoever to get in the opposition manager's change room after the game and get half an hour picking his brains. What do you do? How did you do that? How did you set that? That's my education. I think a lot of coaches and managers now, as you say, it's talk the talk with no substance. And everybody, even I sit and go, not got a clue what he's talking about, not got a clue, and I just go, and that's it, and that's the way it's seen how the game seemed to go. And it's looking, if you look at all the owners, and a lot of owners in football nowadays, I think they want that. I think they want that. But I'm feeling a change. I'm feeling it's coming back to the old ways, and they want that guy to get their hands dirty and, be honest and upfront and 24/7.